going on, folks? Happy Wednesday. Found that the cops hate hatches and half blocks and the like. Yeah, the half block thing is weird. That's on my list of things I wanna chat with the folks that I know are at the Fun Pimps and see if I can get some insight into that. Because I don't like the idea of, you know, of finally of them not wanting us to use half blocks. I don't want to build a base out of a bunch of cubes. I mean, that's why half of, you know, the reason we play this game is puke at hatches. I'm doing good, folks. I am so ready to move though, man. I've got my countdown up here on the wall here. So I am, let's see, 25 days out from the new house. So you'll see in about 4 weeks, I'm going to have a lull in content because there's no way I can move, tear all this down, rehook it back up. And there's going to be kind of two phases, down phases. But I'll give you my quick updates and we're going to jump in and build something new. I don't even have much in the way of ideas, folks. This is going to be totally free balling it. I'm just going to start building shit. We'll see how it turns out. So first off, cheers all. There's a little clink there. We're opening up stream. So I had this beer on stream a while ago, but I felt like it wasn't cold enough. So this is from Minati. So this one right here. It's hard to see, but it's very pretty. It is an oak aged crimson Hellas lager. So it's a lower ABV one so that I don't get plowed, you know? Every once in a while, it's kind of nice. Got a nice head to it. So anyway, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm in the process of moving. I've been building a house for the past 6 months, and it has a very cool custom space for my YouTube studio. I've spent the past 2 or 3 weeks researching audio treatment and how I'm going to approach the studio. So I'm going to have a large truss above that is going to be for lighting, for microphones, for cameras, for things like that. And then I'm probably going to float a sound cloud in between it. I'm going to be looking at building. I've got some angles on the side of the wall, and I'm going to be putting bass traps along those walls. And I'm going to build everything custom. So very excited. It's going to look super cool. I've got some other stuff that I'll wait till I get there to share with everyone. But yeah, very, very excited. So I'm not going to worry about headphones. We're just going to jump on in. So if anyone here hasn't watched, let's see, we're going to go into the prefab editor. I'll show you what I've been working on recently. So if you've watched The Abyss or you hung out when I was building the Horde base that attached to the Echo Craft, that base officially has a name. Wait, what is this? If you stand on or under bars, they will puke on you too. Don't use bars. Never use bars, folks. Bars are the worst block ever. Do not use bars. There is no reason to use bars. It is an inferior block. Use anything other than bars. You can't shoot. I mean, you can shoot through bars, but you can't reach through bars. You can't repair through bars. It's a deficient block. If you're going to put a bar, put a rail. You're always going to be better with a rail. That's my pro tip for the day. So this is the base that if you were on a few weeks back, I did the live stream and I put this together, and I didn't have a name for it at the time, but I have since named it the Spiral Sentry. So this is, I realized that this could be built in conjunction with the Echo Craft, or you know what? I'm not showing you the damn screen. This would help, folks. All right, let's get into it. So this is like I was just saying, this is the base that attaches to the Echo Craft, and I've thus named it the Spiral Sentry. It's got 2 walkways that come in, two spiral entries, and then I realized we could just slap a ladder on the back of it, just like we did on the other side of the crafting base, and have it be standalone if you wanted this as a separate base. So otherwise, everything in the inside is all the same as you saw before. But we are going to build something new today. So I have to build a base that can stand up to 300% damage. Rook, I knew, you know, when I painted this Rookie, I was like, Rookie's going to be okay with this. Rookie and Jawwoodle will both be okay with it. Yeah, I mean, folks, I'm just going to assume that the cops are going to spit all over everything. I'm going to cry a whole bunch. So when I think, and let's go ahead and get ourselves, let's save this one, and we're going to create ourselves a brand new one. We'll get us a fresh prefab going here. 3 of your favorite paints. All right, so we got ourselves a new world, and we're going to just go ahead and save this as, I don't know, Echo. We're going to call it Echo Abyss Snow Experiment. Okay. Yeah, so Kenny, it might not have been intentional. That's one of the things that I've noticed. All right, we're going to clear out the inventory entirely here. That's right, we got to do it this way. So we're going to get a fresh set of blocks to work with. Get rid of everything, clear the inventory out. And I'm just going to build with concrete because that's going to probably be our starting bit. And we're also going to get adaptive. I always like to start off with some adaptive terrain just to make the ground. And hey, if anyone new here and you have questions as I go along when I'm building and whatnot, just drop them in chat. Or if anything that I'm doing in the prefab editor is new to you and you have questions and you'd like to learn, just holler. So this is an interactive session. This is time that I would be spending basically theorizing by myself, and I invited you to join me so we can theorize together, experiment, make train wrecks. So as I was saying, the first thing I always do here is I just make a big platform to work with. So we're just going to go Z to Z like that and highlight a big chunk, maybe a little bit even bigger, because this I'm not sure what I'm doing with this space. You need to, Rookie, man. You would have fun in here. So here's the challenge of this next base. At 300% block damage, it's gonna fail. Pieces of the base will fail. You can't hold up to 300% block damage. I found that out if you saw the last episode of The Abyss. At 215% block damage, Cop Spit one-shots wood, to give context. And everything just starts shredding at that much damage. So there's different ways of approaching this. We can do the shooting gallery approach, which is something that I did back. The Desert Panda was an example of that, where we basically had pods. We had 4 separate pods that yeah, Chessa. So there's, and you got to be able to just basically let one die. Rookie, I don't think I want to do fallbacks. I think I want to do fall sideways. Is kind of where my head was. So I could either do something akin to what we did with, well, I'll spec out 2 ideas here. We'll do 2 rough ideas. So, and I'm actually going to give myself more space because since we're going to just kind of noodle and experiment, I might do 2 really quick ones. So the first idea is, and I'm just going to, again, folks, I'm going to build this as like really sloppy. And then I will come back after the fact. and make it clean and pretty. So we're going to start off and just make ourselves a box, you know, just kind of a standard. These don't need to be big. So I do want the fighting position. Here's one thing that I think I've changed my mind on. The single path fighting position is concerning. I like the double rope. Oh, hell yeah, Rook. We're full on trap for this one. Yes, SMG turrets and shotgun. Well, probably not. Yeah, I can use shotgun turrets because I'm not doing increased AI block damage. All right, so I think these pods, I think I want them 6x6. So we're gonna try this as an idea, and so 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And again, we're just gonna snap it together, and then we'll figure out. And before anyone asks, because someone is going to ask about the 11. Are you going to make it with the 11 block height so that you can avoid rage mode? And I don't think I want to. Oh yeah, Chessa. Yeah, we've got to have SMGs on the roof moving forward. That's a non-starter. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe at this height. So we're going to build the basic configuration. I'm just going to put this out here so you can kind of see the idea. One approach, and then we might change approaches. Rook, they do get confused, and that does help a little bit, to be perfectly honest. That can help. All right, so we should do some quick fill-ins here. Gamer Gold, I do have a server. Actually, we're in the process of, I've got 3 servers. Josh, I have done something like that as well. I recall watching a video recently about blocks that cops won't spit at. Yeah, there's several people who've done pretty good videos on it. So do I want that to go up? Maybe one more height-wise. Get rid of that. Boop, boop. So we're going to bring this up. The other reason I wanted the double from a width perspective is just to give more redundancy, even if we're going to talk about multiple paths. So one option we can do with this, because this is low cost to do something like this, we can go ahead and use, I'm going to throw up a pole side centered for right now. What's going on, Zio? But I'm going to, do I want to do this? Are the servers modded? So any mods that I do on servers are server side only, because I don't believe in dealing with the pain. Yeah, Undead Legacy's dead right now until we get updates. All right. So here we'd have a basic fighting position. And again, we're not making it pretty yet, folks. We're just making cubes, and then we'll adjust it. Good God, I hate lag. Yep. All right. So one option is we do the most basic base like this, and we chain them. So I know it looks like a crunk base. I know. So I was going to throw out what happened to Mel and all them. I think Mel and all them are hanging out over at Tem server for right now. they kind of bounce around. I talked to Mel and company just a little bit ago. All right, so here's one example. We could do something like this, and then you start chaining these. JR is absolutely a phenomenal builder, for sure. So we can grab this whole thing, and then we can pop it out. And even if it's just, we could be really lazy and just do like that far apart, and that's enough. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not going to be enough. I think to be really safe here, we need to go 4 blocks away, and that's what about making the zombies crawl? We can try a crawler base. I've done those before. Yeah, Rook, you got it. For this, we'd use a similar setup to what we could do before. So I'm gonna propose 2 base concepts. So you could do this and then just keep carrying it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so then the way that this would work is between these, we open these up. And give fallbacks here through connective tissue that can be disconnected, just like if you saw the last base that I just showed. I did this. You can use double doors, flipped, or vault doors. By now I can probably afford to do vault doors easily. But we'll just grab double doors as an example here. There we go, just the regular one. Now I don't know if it'll place. I can't remember if this works or if it wants to have the edges. I think it wants to have the edges. And you want it this way actually, and then rotate it around the exact opposite way, because what you want is you want the 3 sides of this are going to have a border to it. See, so you see this butts up against here and this butts up against here. Then you can open those 2, and then zombies aren't going to view it as a valid lane. Now, just to make absolutely sure, you want to have a block that edges into this space so that they cannot walk there. So, but we'll get to that in a second. So this is one concept. The other concept, I'm going to save this. And what was it? Was it my 3x3? Why not garage door? Rook, I don't think garage. Let me think. How does the garage door? Well, for one, I don't know if I can make them. That's the other question. Garage door. Also, Rook, for one, garage doors are freaking massive. I don't want something that's that wide. This is less about but you did give me another thought that I've been thinking of. Okay. All right, so let's save this. We want to hop over. I want to look at I think it's the 5x5. So this was my Glock 9 challenge. Now this had it. No, it's the 3x3 that I liked. So this one was good. But it was my 3x3 challenge that actually had a more interesting mechanic to it. All right, 3x3. So this one accidentally used. What happens if the doors between them get nuked? They most likely won't, Rookie. I mean, it's not going to be just doors. You're going to have those encased. All right, so this little base, this little monster here. Oh, that's right. It used a ladder up. So here's what was cool about this base, and I've been thinking about this for a while, of a way to leverage this in a slightly larger configuration, because obviously on a 3x3 you're just exposed. It's problematic from that perspective. But this little combination right here is hilarious, because what the zombies would do is they would cycle. They'd come up here, they'd make their way across here, and they'd almost, like, good half the time they'd just go woo and jump straight off the edge. But your fighting position is on the far end, and obviously in this case you could cover it. The yeet tower. Yeah, you got the idea. So I might be able to do a condensed version of this. I could potentially utilize something like this. And just ignore dogs and understand that there's a chance for failure. And understand, folks, we're going with a little bit different philosophy on this base. It only has to win once. For the snow biome, my thought is it's going to be a single Horde Knight. Or a combo, make the tower hold out last. So the drawbacks on bases like this are you can't see the bottom. It's very difficult. Yay, bananas. That's awesome to say. Awesome to hear. The other thing that we could do, I'm just trying to think of all the different options. We could also go back to our wood base challenge. What did we even call that? That hot mess. Oh no, we built that in game. We just built that in game. So what do we call this? Experiment something? Yeah. All right, so, you know, I kind of don't want to do this because it just feels like, I don't know. I like, so I want to do something like this where we connect tissues. But I want, hot mess is a great name for it. But I don't know. I want something different. I want something different. I also liked the droppers that I saw Pancake using. Those were super cool. I definitely want an elevated fighting position. I'd like a way for my 4x4 to get in this time. So let's actually start with the 4x4 because we're going to get one before we get there. Let's start with the concept of getting a 4x4 in first. And then we're going to we'll build the crafting base, and then we're going to build the horde base around it. I like that. Let me think of how I want to do this. Okay, so let's start with this. We're gonna grab my favorite blocks, the narrows. Yeah, that is my. So here's the other thing. The other idea that I had is less redundancy, but more support at the bottom. So we could try this. Well, let me make the pathway in. You know what? I'm going to do my other idea that I had. We're going to just start doing this. Let me get a bunch of blocks going here. Get these separated out. Now we got to build this big enough this time for 4x4. And what is drawbridge? Is drawbridge 5 across? I don't want to have to build that much, especially for a base that I'm going to abandon. Or I could always park outside. That's an option too. And then let's go ahead and get one regular cube block. Okay. So we'll make our pathway in for the 4x4. And what, someone remind me, the, yeah, that's true. That is true, Rook. That is true. I could... Yeah, you've got something there, Rook. What do I want to do with this, though? We're going to go with the similar... the same framework that I used on the last one. That's that we're going to pivot to here. Once we get to this one, we're going to do this one to a wedge 60. This combination is my new favorite for... Though I don't know, 4x4 might challenge... Does anyone know? Can a 4x4 make it up a ramp from a... acceleration perspective? I don't know that it can. Not great. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. All right. So you know what? Well, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I think it's gonna have to be... I think you got to stick at the wedge 60s for a 4x4. Oops, not that one. There we go. And I'll thin this out afterwards. Again, we're gonna build for... Get it in here. Rook, I am liking the idea though. I'm gonna low dip on the pathway in. The crafting base doesn't have to be super high off the ground. Just high enough to, you know, save you from taking immediate damage. And you know what? I'm doing this wrong, folks. Once you build the first part, you should just do this. You copy this, and then you move it up, and then you slide it twice. And then you just keep doing this until you get the height that you want. So up, slide, paste. Much easier. So that's plenty high enough. Hey, Ben, thank you for that. You know what? I'm genuinely, I have a lot of fun with these. Now for this, using the garage door might make total sense. Like, what is it, a 4x3? You know what? The vehicle damage is bad, but I haven't had that hard of a time with it. I haven't felt horrible about it. Oops, go back and grab that. I gotta think of how I do this. These are wooden. Wooden doors obviously aren't going to cut it. Okay, steel 4x... I wish you could get these in not... like this is just going to look tacky. But that's fine. We'll play with it as a concept. Oh, and actually, you know what? Let's get the non-powered version because we can see how this works better. And 3x3 should be fine. All right, there we go. That's not horrible at all. Now, how is the vehicle drive on that? Is it decent? I've never tried these new ones. isn't the non-powered version creative only? Possibly Rook, but the problem is you can't power in creative, period. So for the purposes of this, let's go ahead and get 4x4 and some gas. Drive our naked butt around here. Final base ID in Wasteland. Dr. Eko has just enough and builds an explosives pit or an AFK bit. Oh, I didn't even actually try. I just want to see that. Okay. I like this already. This feels good. All right, you go away. Oh, that's right. It's not going to let me. Hey, Amora, welcome in. Did it take damage? I don't think so, Rook. I did want to check that and just confirm. Nope, doesn't look like it took damage. So I like that. I actually think that that's an elegant solution. And the fact that it tucks up nicely against this, I might actually have it tuck on the opposite side. I might reverse it so that I can have this at an angle and save myself a few blocks. So that is a concept. We're good. We're going to start with that. Crafting wise, I want to do something different with the crafting base this time. Not sure what I want to do different with this, but we want a garage area. Let's see. How big do we want to make the crafting area? Let's... Oh, that just reminds me. I want to get the mod before I get to the wasteland that takes away the gloominess of the wasteland, because I hate it for recording. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 up. I'm not sure what I'm doing here, folks, so just bear with me. 5. I'm just making a big platform. Yeah, no sun. Like, the views just aren't good. Like, I love getting to look out my windows and see pretty stuff. Yeah, thank you, Toxic Al. I appreciate that. I'm glad that folks are enjoying these. And honestly, like I said, this is fun for me. Like, me spitballing ideas. You know, I spend hours doing this by myself, and I get to share the wackiness that I'm doing. And y'all can see kind of my process of like, yeah, see, Rook, I can build really compact in terms of crafting base. Like, I don't need a lot of space, but I do want something that's a little bit different looking this time. And I'm not sure what I want to do with it. You know what? The big thing here is I need enough space to pull the 4x4 in and turn it around. So, you know, I do have to think from that perspective. I'm thinking about making this area an octagon this time. Ooh, yeah. What if, let's play with this. Snow is best. I'm 100% with everyone who thinks snow is best. I loves it. I loves it. I loves it. 1, 2, 3. All right. So that's even, right? 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, see, I don't know. I'm in Wisconsin. I love the snow. I grew up in Georgia, and I don't miss anything. Well, I miss some of the food from Georgia. I'm not gonna lie. I'll take those over hurricanes. Preach. Tell me more. Because yeah, I don't want none of that. But I understand that everyone has different thresholds and tolerance for, you know, what you like. And for me, cold doesn't bother me. All right. I don't also want it to be a perfect diamond because that's going to be massive. We don't need it to be that big. The only problem is diagonals are so bad. How do I want to do this? Well, if there's going to be, let's think about this. If there's going to be, I want some frame shapes actually. Regular frame shapes are your best friends, by the way, when you're building. I generally have gone with pull through. Yeah. Oh, that's, you know what? That's fair, Smith. I don't know that. So pull through garages make a lot of sense. But I think I'm going to have horde bases on 3 sides is where I'm, or at least 2. You know what? It's not that much more resources. I might go with your idea here. Yeah, let's do that. We're doing it, folks. I also have to keep in mind, I'm trying to make all these bases so that I can make tutorials on them afterwards. So we're going to copy that. We're going to hold down G. We're going to slide out here. I'm going to paste that like that. And then I'm going to hit X twice, and that's going to flip it back around. And then I'm going to hit Control C to copy it. And then I'm going to delete it. And then we're going to fold it back in like this. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's a critical spot, folks. We got to decide whether this is even or odd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fellow nerds, what's going on, Lacorin? So it's even right now. Chess, it's optional. Yeah, I think odd is the right answer, because I think I might use the garage doors all the way around, even to connect to the other bases. I actually like that as a solution. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to delete that, and we're going to slide it over one more like that. Just going to get a little bit tricky on how we do this. Yeah, let me think of how this is going to work. So first off, what we're going to do, let's get rid of this. Get rid of this because we're going to flip that around the exact opposite direction. Like that. Yes. So that's going to sit like that, which is perfect. And let's before we move forward, let's finish off this ramp so that we're not building the ramp twice. And I think that's plenty big enough. I don't think the ramp needs to be bigger than that for the 4x4. I think that that's gonna do it. And I'm not gonna bother putting rails on it. We could put rails on this, but I find them to just be a little bit obnoxious. But we don't need this much support to hold up this. So let's make it look a little bit prettier. Let's start the beautification process. Let's pull this back to here. You're totally going to drive off the edge. You know, it depends on in how much of a hurry we are, Rook. And yes, physics are turned off right now, but they don't have to be. You can turn them on in creative. It's totally up to you. All right, so we can do that. And so, for example, I can come over here and I can either click physics active, or I can also just do a show stability and see how things look. Now, obviously, this is borked over here, but we haven't added supports yet, so it's fine. But there's a lot of wasted material in this that we're going to get rid of. Like, this is all unnecessary. We can get rid of a bunch of this. What's going on, Wacko? Like, that's probably fine, right? Void's End style ramp. Yeah, a little bit like that. Maybe not quite that elaborate. That one is really tricky. The Void's End one took a lot of love to quite get it to work the way it did. All right, we're gonna flip out of show stability though. But anytime, like when you're building bridges like this, that you can avoid using the full block cost, you're gonna be better off. And so you can do, you know, follow the same pattern that you use. So I'm just using wedge 60s and I'm just flipping them in the opposite direction. But anything you want to do to kind of give it some interesting character, you can do that as well. But I wanted to build this once because we're going to reuse it on the other side. But we just got rid of a whole bunch of blocks, and stability is still plenty good enough. Now at the bottom, my recommendation, like I could go with just a wedge 60 and narrow it in like that. But I find it much more interesting from an aesthetic perspective if you slap that block in. Gives it some, you know, some different character. But you do you can do whatever you want. And so if we go in now and recalculate stability, we can go ahead and take a look at it. You can see, yeah, this is yellow, but I mean, yellow, half of your base is going to be yellow. So you don't have to really worry about that. So that's a pretty solid little bridge that's pretty cheap to make block wise. So here is again the magic of the prefab editor. Once you get your first bridge done, you know, we're going to take the advice. Can't remember who it was that had said, hey, why don't you do a drive-through? We're going to do that. We're going to put the drive-through on the other side. So we're going to grab this whole thing here. If I can click the right spot, there we go. So Z is what sets one side of your point. And we're going to go here. All right, so that's our whole bridge in, and we're going to copy that, and we're just going to slide it. So right now I've copied it, and I'm going to paste it over here, and I'm going to hit X twice, and then I'm going to copy it again and delete it. You delete with J, which is the weirdest thing ever, but that's how it works. So then we slide this into here. Oh, nope. That's always been an issue, Rook. You gotta be a little bit careful of that. So the one other thing I do want to start looking at is this. So we're going to also, so that's going to go like that basically, right? Rotate that around. Yeah, the planting thing in weight is weird. I wish they just left that alone. All right, so we're just going to frame around this real quick. Because I want to start to think of how we're going to lay out the interior of this. All right, so there's our double doors there, and we're going to make these powered. So it'll open both of these. Oh, wait. How are we going to do this, folks? We have to reverse this. This is wrong. So here's... No, yeah. So here's the trick of this, folks. I gotta play with this for a second. I should have fixed this first. So because we don't have an inversion option for power, I'd like to make them both motion sensor rook. All right, I gotta play with this for a second. If I place that there, where does it go? Not quite. We're gonna rotate that again. All right. Watch and observe, folks. All right. That's freaking awesome. Okay. So here's what we did. We made it so that the key point is eventually what we're going to do is have a motion sensor here. And we want the motion sensor to trigger. And when it does, you want both of the doors to open. So this door is going to open like this. All right. And this door, and wait, you go that way. Nope. You go that way. I'm going to have to get this one from this side. And that one's going to go that way. So that way you can have a single switch that activates both of them. Oh, that is freaking slick. I really like that, folks. That is now this exterior door. Here's one thing to consider. We are in creative. So this needs something to support it. So even if it is like a pole across the bottom here, or actually what I would probably do is use this narrow block is probably perfect. All right, so now the door is supported, but that is still more than a zombie can cross. Okay. Or if you want to even make it oh, in Mora here with the big brain. Look at you with the big brain. Yes, saving on resources. See, you know, folks, I'm honestly like, this is what makes these streams fun, is just having people give feedback for stuff like this. Like, I liked the double, but this is more efficient. I like it. Live chat, yay. So this is gonna bug me though. I think this could be better with a plate ramp, because I'm neurotic and I like how it's gonna look if it's just completely flush like this. Oh, that was facing the wrong way. There we go. Yep, saving resources. Well, that is, I mean, that is really important in this run. I mean, granted, I'm making a double garage door into here, so that's a little overkill anyway, but I love this. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. So here's the magic once again, folks. Once you do it once, don't do it twice. So we grab the whole section that we've just got done building here like this. We copy the whole darn thing because we don't want to do this shit twice. We copy it and we slide it out. Just pop it out there, paste it, double rotate it with X twice, copy it, delete it, slide that right back over, paste it, and we've resolved the problem on both sides. Just like that. All right. So, we're starting to get some crafting base. We'll figure out the supports in the bottom. I want to do something interesting. I probably actually don't want to put supports here. I probably want to carry them over here. Yeah, Rook, it is night and day, buddy. It's, how do I want to do this? So we can do straight ramps on the corner. Easy cheesy. We can use ramps. We've been using the arrow slits. These are just awesome blocks. They're so good. But I want to do something different. So you can always use these on the side to give a different kind of character perspective. Fancy modern supports. Yeah, I think I just want to do the supports in the corners, and then obviously there will have to be some type of central support to keep the whole thing up. And I'm tempted to put... Yeah, this is the crafting section. I'm also tempted to kind of, just so that we can... I know it's going to expose us a little bit. What do I want to use for this? I'm tempted to do something like this. Which way do I want to do this? That way. I am tempted to do this. So if we have zombies below the base, we can deal with them. Because we'll be able to shoot down through. And they shouldn't be able to have an angle. Yes, Amora, you're getting it. You're getting it. So I'm going to build a horde base on each side is the idea. Good day, everyone. All right. So I'm going to grab some regular ramps. I can't remember how these sit up against each other. Ben, it is, but I refuse to use them. I am personally anti-cheese, but I don't begrudge anyone who enjoys their cheese. It is just not my flavor of playing. So here's going to be the problem with the diagonals. And Mora, I ask people for advice all the time, man. So get used to it. You know, I've always said I learn from my community as much as they learn from me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did do this. Oh, okay. It just looks weird because let's do this just so that I can get the feel for it right. And I might change this, folks. I'm not locked onto this. I'm just playing. making Zelda icons. Well, here's the thing. Like, all of us who play 7 Days, we all beg, borrow, and steal from each other. And we all, every one of us, learn from the example of someone else at some point in time. So, you know, I get a little bit persnickety. Would you consider making a basic dev tool guide? Leo, what are you struggling with? And yeah, I could do, do you mean for dev tool? Do you mean like the prefab editor? Or do you mean all the stuff that's in the creative menu, like this stuff here? I could add that, selecting multiple blocks, etc. Okay. Prefab editor. Okay. Yeah, I could do a prefab editor tutorial. Let me bear with me for a second, folks. I'm just grabbing a sheet of paper here. So I'm hearing prefab editor. And then yeah, I can go into that. It is not the most intuitive thing at all, LD. It definitely has taken me a lot of playing around with it to get good with it. Question: in creative, you can make a bunker under a house, earth level. Yes. So one of the big things here, this, if y'all see the, and I try to teach as I go through this. So if you do have questions, please ask. So up here, you've got under this little thing, level tools, you've got a show ground level, which is what that checkerboard is. So you can actually move that up or down. Additionally, you can move the entire prefab up and down. Now, pro tip, save the hell out of it before you mess with move prefab up or down, because it sometimes screws up. Hey, Graham. Yeah. So Wacko, I did a video on. So hold on, I'm gonna pause for a second so I can serve up 2 videos that will help. I cover a lot of the functions in this, but not a full tutorial. So I've got, let me just grab them real quick. So I did a video on importing and exporting a POI. And in both of these, so this is the import video. Import POI. So this shows you how to bring a POI into a world. And then I have another one which shows you how to, like, if you create something and you want to save it later and take it into another world, I'll save POI. So those 2, they're older videos of mine, but the information's still completely germane. It's still relevant. It hasn't changed. So those are good starting points. Oh, you. Sorry, I'm changing my mind here, folks. I'm playing with ideas. I'm not sure what I want to do with my life. I don't like that either. So Zanilla, yeah, that's a different animal. There's an extra step you have to do to add it for that. And I have not made a video on that. Add. So that's basically how do you add the POI to the RNG? Or actually it's the RWG, the random world gen. So what I'm looking for right now, folks, is corner bits. I want to do something different other than just a straight block on the corner, because I'm kind of sick of... Oh, you know what? Nope, I'm going to hate that. I'm going to hate that. So here's going to be the one problem with diagonal walls. And again, I'm just filling this in, but we're going to have a crafting area here. And diagonals make for really bad crafting area, unfortunately. So you can kind of sacrifice, and we probably will have to sacrifice. We'll probably have to fill that in like that. Because especially with the new size of the crafting stations, that way you can have like chem stations fit there with some boxes above. So this will probably have different crafting stations around the room. And this is big enough, though, we could easily put... Yep. Oh, pork roll with extra chili looking at you. Tasty, tasty. All right. So, and I also hate this. This is going to change. This is unacceptable. I can't take that big brick. So I kind of want to leave. I'm going to crumble. All right. I'm just, again, building up, and we'll beautify afterwards. We build, then we beautify. So we're going to make a 4-poster here at the sides. Okay. And we could do something as simple as cube corner bevels actually work really good to give you, if you wanted just a different looking pillar, you can use these and you rotate them on their sides. And then you can use these at the bottom. So we could do something like this. And then we'll do another one at the top, flipped upside down, except for then it's not going to sit flush. Oh, wait, I got an idea, folks. We're going to do something very different. We're going to grab this guy, which we have done. We've done this before, I know. How will this look? We're going to make a non-uniform one. We're trying something different. We're experimenting. This is what we're here for. We haven't even gotten to the horde base section. We're just on the crafting section, but we will get to the horde base section. All right, where was the other part that I just had? I liked that. How will this look? Will this look weird or will this look good? All right, now that we've done that, then we can take cube corner bevel pieces like this. You, where were you? Where were you? You. So now we can advance rotate that until it fits. All right. Oops, F1, set time day. All right, and then we can do the same thing with these, flip them upside down. Till that matches and lines up. There's so many different ways you can do columns in 7 Days to Die. There we go. And then so that this sits more flush up against whatever we do up here. I don't like those still. I don't know what the answer is for these yet. Let's see if we just go with, you know, our flat whatever. I just want to see what this looks like as an option. That's going to look horrible, right? I think it is. Because it's going to stick out on the side. Yeah. Oh, but wait a second. What if, folks, we square off the side, give it a little bit more character. We could do something like that. And then on the sides here, you're just gonna come in with quarter blocks. Other than the fact that I'm gonna hate building this in actual game. That gives it some interesting character to work with. And the other cool thing you can do on stuff like this, if you want character, folks, that I highly recommend, is play around with, like, you can use stuff like this, like a cube corner beveled. Use these corners. And you can just come in and place these like this. And you'll give character to your base. Like, really easy way to add some flavor. Another question, POI that we can create can only be added to a random gen or can be to a pre-gen. No, so Wacko, you can make a POI and then modify an existing world and add that POI to that world. And you can do it to a live game, but it's a little dicier. And if you want to make this, the other thing that you can do to make this really interesting, folks, here is you can flip this on its end and make diamond shapes like that. So these are just kind of cool, you know, give your base some different flavor to it. I could do it this way. I kind of like the original one that we had, which was this. I have a lot of I've got a lot of personalities, Rook. And by the way, thank you for everyone who's watched The Abyss and responded in comments to WaywardEko and has realized that I'm intentionally doing that as a separate voice. Because that's going to come into play more and more as we move forward. So see, folks, what I did there is I just copied it and then I rotated it a few times. And we've got a whole new section there. So we're going to... And wait, how did we end up not... Oh, because I put that in the wrong spot. I was like, I didn't mess this up. We talked about this. We made it odd. So we're going to slide that over one space. Boom, like that. That's right. And then this is just the wrong spot. That's freaking me out. Okay. Oh, I see what I did. Yes, and then these, that's why it's okay. Yep. Slide that over like that, paste, and then just rotate it. Okay. So I do have to say, folks, God, The Abyss is such a love-hate thing. I love this series. I feel like it's some of my best storytelling I've ever done. And every time I do a playthrough, it hurts my soul because it performs so bad. It just, the views are horrendously bad. I think we're going to use this same format here to connect it to So it'll follow that same motif as we did over here. Rookie did. Now, Tem's videos performing bad are 25,000 views. And if I get a video with 25,000 views, I'm pretty thrilled. So we're on different scales. The speed that he can crank out and still make, you know, a living off of those is a little different. Schwag, the views have never gotten above 1,000. I mean, on most of them have been really low. But is what it is. I got to do some other content, which is why, like, this week is only going to be one Abyss episode. Now, the one that I put out was big. And then no, I know that. I fully recognize that there's some scale going on there. And to be perfectly clear, I want to be very crystal clear. I do not begrudge Tem. He does amazing, incredible work. So I am in no way disparaging Tem. He has been an amazing and great friend to me in my YouTube journey. So I wish him all the success in the world. There we go. I have to be careful because when you talk about other creators, drama gets, people are just silly. So just so anything that I say doesn't get misconstrued. All right. So I'm going to keep playing with that idea. I want to start working on the horde based portion of it. So I had this obelisk concept to play with that could have multi-sided. So the survive horde, people are weird in comments, folks. Everyone needs to, I don't know, everyone in every sense, politically and otherwise, needs to take a breather. They need to chill the F out. Everyone's just so angry and riled up right now, and I wish everyone would just take a step back. All right, so there's a concept that that I played with. It, you know, I'm sure a handful of people here saw the Sentinel, but there was a concept that I played with there that I haven't gotten to really work with yet, and that is using the 4-stage slopes, or thinking before they actually post. Yeah, there's none of that going on, Rook. No one thinks before they post. So we're gonna grab this set again. More hugs and kindness. Exactly. Well, I mean, and I won't deal with it. You know, I felt really good actually after talking to Tem, and he's like, I'm done with the negativity on comments. He's like, I just block people now. And for a long time, I felt like super weird about blocking people. But if people are just gonna be in my video comments being toxic, just garbage spewing, I'm not gonna deal with it. I'm not gonna respond to it. I'm just gonna block them and move on with my life. I want it on record that I was not involved. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. So the Sentinel had this idea. Haters gonna hate. True statement. It's weird, folks. It's hard when you're starting off as a creator, and you're like, you want to engage with everyone and you want to listen to everyone, and you don't want to isolate anyone, because and sometimes I will still, I try to read the comments, and it's, you know, it's a judgment call. There's sometimes when I feel like people aren't actively trying to be toxic, but they don't realize what they're saying. And for those type of people, I will go out of my way to kill them with kindness. Because I do find sometimes that people don't realize the impact of the words that they're saying. And if I can have a teaching moment, I feel good about that. Leo, I have had some amazing responses to hecklers that I've been pretty proud of. I've definitely, I've definitely had fun with that. So that, you know what, rookie, I made a rookie mistake early on, and I've never forgotten it. Someone was being a little shitty and I made fun of them for their English, and they're like, this is not my first language. And I instantly felt like an asshole because I was an asshole. And so I'm very sensitive, especially in 7 Days to Die, because we've got honestly a lot of creators from around, or a lot of players from around the world. And it's what makes this game so awesome. So I'm very sensitive, and I try to pay attention to names and the style of how they're writing to understand, like, okay, are we having a language barrier? Yeah, I hear you there, Wacko. I hear you. I hear you on that. So here's my idea, and I'm so this is the thing. There's two ways to approach. You know, we talked about the rage mode and zombies. If they, I want to say, if they fall less than 4 blocks, they don't rage. If they fall and they ragdoll and they're within 11 blocks of you, that's when you've got problems, that they're going to go into rage mode and blow shit up. But what I found accidentally, this was not my intent, in the Sentinel, I had these massive sloped walls, and the zombies would come off the ramp and slide down, and it didn't count as fall. So this kind of skirts, yeah, slide walls, exactly. So I want to play a little bit with this idea, and the slide walls have a secondary function, Rook, and that's that if the zombie wants to plow through this, they're going to have to go through 1, 2, and then, you know, the next one. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Graham. And more, it drives my wife's nuts when I start talking fast. You'll speak backwards? Holy shit. And more, are you on like a different plane of existence than the rest of us? You're speaking so fast that you're like going through time and going in reverse. I don't even know how to, I don't know how to wrap my head around that. Is there a reason not to build it? Yes. Yes, Oz. So there are several things to consider. So when you're building, let's summon our good friend here. So F6. So this guy, our good old buddy. Oh, wait. Did I really summon a bear? I didn't mean to summon the bear. Go away, bear. Let's pull this out real quick. We're just giving examples. You go away. Okay. So, and will you get in a square, buddy? You're making my example hard. All right, you go away. Let's get him right in a square. Oh my God, what am I pressing? Okay. All right, so let's get us a demo. Will you fall in a square? Be in a square. Okay. All right. So when he blows up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's 5 blocks. You know, basically that. And then it's a blast pattern. So this is why when you see most Horde bases, you want to have your elevation plane at least 6 up. So if a demo falls and blows up, he's not going to take out your pathway into where you're fighting. So that is why you will constantly see 5 or 6. At least. Chessa, I also do too. So, like, this is probably a good height up here. I'm actually thinking 2 planes up like this. So we'll probably take the bridge across. So we're going to build the area out. Rookie, you should know that. When I got out of the military, I spoke German almost fluently. You know, I've taken 4 languages. 3? Well, English plus 3. Yeah, just got to worry about them on Horde night. That's so I have a degree in French. But I also took German and almost minored in German. But my German is just gone because I haven't used it. And I took Irish for a few years. I took Japanese for a few years as well. And I genuinely want to go back and learn Japanese. That's on my list of things to do in life. So I can watch anime in original format, because how's he confusing you? Main language is Spanish when I travel to the United States. Yes, Spanglish is a thing, man. And in mixed, like, it's once you start learning multiple languages and you start mixing them in your head, and it's funny because if you meet other people who speak multiple languages, they sometimes understand it even when you make no sense. Yeah, Rookie. Well, actually, no. It's yes to both of those. But so, you know, I've got a degree in English, and I originally was going to be a writer, but I realized I wasn't a great writer. I'm a good storyteller, but I'm not a great writer. And it's okay to understand what your strengths are. I ran LARPs for years and realized I was really good at telling stories in those capacities. And I feel like I do a decent job in 7 Days to Die. But language is such a magical thing because there's words and phrases that only exist in a language. Like the idea you can get through a series of words, but there's some words and things like that that just don't exist. And I love that aspect of language. So, you know, I feel like I'm missing out. Bad dubs can be hilarious and awesome. All right, so here's the question, folks. I don't know. I might make this a whole giant block. So I'm still prototyping right now. All right, so this is going to start to look kind of obelisk-ish. Obelisk-ish. And we're gonna bring this closer to here, but we don't want it too close. We might double garage door this. How expensive is it to make a garage door? Let's just check this real quick. 3x3 powered. Really? Are you gonna make me do this? All right. What? Oh, come on. Bear with me, folks. I don't know why this is being dumb. There we go. I just want to know how much it costs. I don't speak pre-coffee. I fully respect that. All right. So steel garage door, 3x3 powered. Okay, so there's an iron one because we don't need to use steel. There's no reason to do these with steel. That's fairly cheap. But not cheap enough for me to double the length of this. So what we'll probably do, because I do want some distance in this. So we're gonna do, what do we do over here? Do we want to copy this format? Yeah, let's copy this. Here's the other thing, folks. Once you do stuff in the creative editor, reuse it. Yay, Klingon. For me, coffee is life, folks. It is. Coffee is one of my absolute. It's not even about the caffeine. It's magic. I love coffee. Love it, love it, love it. All right. I don't like those squares in the corner. We're going to play with those in a second. How high up? So that's got to be 8 up. Except for we want the fighting position to be 1 higher than that. So I gave it up for a while, but Mama didn't raise no quitter. All right. So I want to start to think about this a little bit in a creative way. How can we get the most reuse? Oh, you know what? That's super annoying. Let me move ground down for a second so I can just do this. We're going to give ourselves more space. And yes, this is going to be a large base. Thought we're doing dual lanes. I'm actually thinking of 6 lanes, rookie. And maybe I'm building the, I don't know. Maybe I'm building not the snow base. This might end up being the wasteland base. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. The best kind of base. Right now, I'm strictly at the theory, you know, actually we want to go 1 higher. Can I take an idea and send it to you and then you send me the file? No. The answer is no. I struggle for time so hard. I try to be really accommodating when people ask me for stuff, and like I've had to shut down folks, just so you know. I don't respond. I can't respond to DMs. I just can't afford the time. But I love interacting with folks, and anyone who's on my Discord knows I respond to anything in Discord. And to date, I've responded to every single message I've ever gotten in terms of like video comments and whatnot. Every comment I've ever gotten, I've responded to. So just got to go the right way. All right. So we'll put a door there. I love this. I love this. I'm having feelings and thoughts and ideas, folks, and it's all coming together in my head. Okay. This channel lacks bribery. What's going on, Christopher? Welcome in. Yeah, Rook, it does spoil you. It spoils you a bunch. I want something for these corners, and I'm not sure what I want. I haven't decided yet, but I want something. What do I want? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's going good. It's going good. Just build my little heart out here. I don't know what I want for my pathway in, but I'm aiming towards something probably a little bit more solid. So I like security grates. So there's one thing I hate about security grates. Yeah, this is for Abyss. Security grates suck for when I have to make a thumbnail. I hate them so much, folks, because when I go into Photoshop and I have to mask this shit out, I have to like zoom in and cut out all the insides of this. And it's a nightmare. It is a holy hell of a nightmare. Well, we started off saying it was for the snow biome. I think this one's too big for the snow biome. I think the snow biome's going to have to be smaller. Yeah. So poles will take damage from bullets. Yeah, I mean, we could do side-centered. Have you used them? So scaffolding ladders. So really important note, because the scaffolding ladders are a double-edged sword. If you're trying to do them to not take damage, they're bad, because they are going to stop cop spit, which is bad. Because for this railway, yeah, double poles might be the. I used the 0.25. Yeah, so maybe we go with the yeah, not the super thin one, but this one. And then we can double it. Now, there's one problem with the doubling that I don't like. And you know what? We could do it like this. We can double it up from there, and maybe we do that, and then we leave that one as is, because we're gonna want to put double well, let's make one entry. Let's make one entrance. Yeah, the super thin one is really rough. Yeah, Christopher, you got where I'm going with it. So I'm going to go with Baluster because this has been my favorite, and it's a new block in Alpha 21, so I'm using the hell out of it. So you can do that. I did enjoy it. And there might be another guest appearance in the very near future. So it may not be over yet. But for anyone who doesn't know, Tem and I go back. So Tem from Guns, Nerds, and Steel, him and Pre-Built and myself all started doing YouTube at the same time. And we did a whole creator server together called Totally Not Prepared. And Tem's been one of the guys that curious how he's going to do the bandits in game. You know what, Chessa? It'll be fun. You'll enjoy it. I am excited to see how he does the bandits in game because I know, but I'm waiting to see how the editing turns out for it. But yeah, Tem I would consider at this point in time to be a good friend. Him and I both bounce ideas off of each other. He has such an innate concept for creation and storytelling. So I understand a lot of the business side of things, and we'll chat back and forth. And I cherish him as a friend and fellow comrade in the YouTube battle. I think Noodle broke him. Oh man, that episode, Rook. I was like, oh man, poor Tem is just trying to get a word in edgewise. And Tem is so polite. I can't tell if he's irritated or just rolling with it. And but yeah, Tem's really good peeps. Yeah, him and I've done a handful of collabs in the past, in both directions. So he did he joined me for the Horde battle at Frosthaven, and I'm thinking about, I still haven't done the Horde battle at Blood Moon Keep, so I might snag him. I might snag him and Pre-Built, have a little reunion party, and see if we can do a Horde night there. Yes, Chessa, I cracked my shit up over that. I found that hilarious. Oh, thank you, Rook. How am I going to switch lanes? Good question. Thank you for that. We're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and bring in vault doors. And again, we're going to switch these out for powered ones later. I mean, there's just not a better answer than the vault doors. They are the best solution for switching. Now the question is, now I'm starting to think resources. Do I just ignore dogs entirely? which is a very valid option, whether regardless of whether some people don't think so. But I could do this and go ladders. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. So ramps are expensive, folks. Like the effort to have some ramps and stairs are both expensive and problematic. Because I can do this and then chop the doggies with blade traps. Well, blade traps are not. So one thing to keep in consideration, folks, if you've been watching The Abyss, I don't have time to gather the resources to make a ton of shit. Everything has to be somewhat manageable. Now, the other thing that I'm tempted to do, quite honestly, is bury turrets in the bottom of this, which is another option. So I could... Yeah, at 300% damage, they're not going to survive. That's the other thing. I'm thinking something as simple as this, and then maybe I add just a ramp block on the inside. Yeah, so Chessa, I'm agonizing over this. Part of me says push for snow. Honestly, I don't think I'm ready for snow. I think I have to take one more. I think it's going to take one more Horde Night at the current base. And get resources ready and then move. It's kind of where my headspace is. So here's what I'm thinking, folks. Okay. It's simple, but effective. Yeah, so Christopher, I won't even have electricity, or I won't. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey. Oof. Thank you. Yeah, you just hit on a big thing. How do I do this? Sorry, I'm thinking in my head of how to approach this. I need electric fences in this to be viable. You need something to slow the zombies down. You need that help. And what I'm thinking is that we just accept that we're going to lose the electric fences. They're not going to survive, right? So oh no, there's not. I'm hoping that we have enough power that we don't care. All right, we're gonna play with this idea. Okay, so if we do this, okay. Minimal protection on these. Okay. Let's think of how we do this. Just wait for it, Christopher. I'm working on it. I have ideas. But good question. Absolutely the right question to ask. But honestly, I don't care about repairing them during Horde night. We're just gonna pivot. Pivot? So we're gonna put poles at the end of these. Because I don't think we're gonna get a chance to repair. I don't think that's gonna be a thing. Now that being said, we can do this and God, see, the real problem that I'm running into here, folks, in my head is not trying to overcomplicate this because I've got to explain how to build this. That is a critical thing of what I'm trying to do. I think it was the block damage straight up just wrecked things. I think that I had no idea about just how much damage. So Josh, one thing to consider, we're talking 300% block damage. So blade traps are going to disintegrate like paper. They're just not going to survive. Yeah, so I don't know. Let me save real quick. I'll show you all. So I did a modification. And I know I'm bouncing around a little bit here. So let me see if I did it in the world here. So this is on the plus, Echo Box Plus. So this doesn't have the full version that I did it? All right, so this is the updated version of the stairs that I made. And for one, it's chunkier, but this is also missing. I added in stairs right here. I added in I added in ladders there. And that gave, because this block right here, this guy right here is the problem child. That one takes a lot of damage, and if it fails, you got problems. So the ladder covers a lot of redundancy, and then just extra meat along the bottom just saves it from failing. SMG turrets do not set off demos, which is awesome. All right, let's head back over to the other one. I just wanted to show kind of what I did to change that. And I'm going to teach how to do both styles of staircases when I do the tutorial that's going to come out either it's not coming out tomorrow. I'm hoping to get it out by Friday. I've got most of the recording done, but I've got to do all the voiceover and the editing, and those both take a lot of time. All right, so back to experiment. Discard changes. All right, I'm gonna hit a quick bio break, and I will be back in just a minute, folks. It's just a quick run, so I'm gonna give you the shorter one because I feel like I can't remember which bases I've done recently on these. So actually, wait, no, I don't know what this is. Nope, we did that one last time. We're doing the middle one. Sorry, we're flipping it. We're doing this one. All right, we're back. I used the restroom. I poured myself a little whiskey. We're good to go. And just give myself a splash of water real quick. So we're obviously not going to finish off tonight. I'm probably going to go for another 45 minutes or an hour though, because I want to make more progress. I want to get us to kind of a starting standpoint. And then next Wednesday, I'll hopefully polish this off before I have to build it. This may not be my answer for the snow biome though. I'm concerned about the size of this. And I know that well, I don't want to say too much because I've got story ideas, but I don't know how it's going to play out. I will say, since y'all are all here, I can share something. There will be a time in this series, in the Abyss series, where I will invite everyone who watches the series to be a part of the series. You will have a chance to help Dr. Eko or to hurt Dr. Eko. So, more to come on that. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that. What kind of whiskey do I have? I have lots of kinds of whiskeys, Josh. But right now I'm drinking one that actually, like, I would never buy. Not because it's bad. It's just not amazing. But I've got some Johnny Walker Black. I like a lot of different whiskeys. This one was gifted to me. And there's just a lot better scotches out there in the world for me personally. But it's still very tasty. So hurting him is fine with me. Well, Leo, what I'm hoping, well, I don't want to say anything else. I'm just going to stop talking. Just going to stop. You know, everyone's got those stories. Everyone's got those stories. Now, here's what we could do. We might throw in some dart trap action on this one too. Talisker's good stuff. Lymphitic is good. So for Scotch folks out there, the ones that I recommend that people don't normally try are Aberlour. So try Aberlour, try oh Jesus, I'm losing my head right now. Well, what do I have next to me? I don't have any of the good ones next to me. Octagon. And I probably butchered the spelling of it, but Octagon does amazing stuff. What are some of the other ones that everyone doesn't, you know, like Talisker's pretty common. Lymphitic is pretty common. Aberlour, Octagon. Oh, Brutalotic, which I can't. Brutalotic. Shit, I'm gonna have to look it up so I can spell it. Brutalod. Because the spelling is a total nightmare. So Brutalotic and Bunahaven is the last one, and this one is also very hard to pronounce. But so this one is pronounced Bunahaven, even though it doesn't look like it. People who put water in Scotch are people who know that science is real. So here's the thing, folks. chemically speaking, when you put water into whiskey, it actually opens up the flavors. It gives a lot to it. So putting water in the right amount, and different types of scotches want different amounts of water to bring out the natural flavors in them. So if you have a peatier scotch, if you're working with like a Speyside, but once you get to Islays, you want a splash of water in it. It's going to level out the scotch and the flavor in it. Now, that's not to say that there's nothing wrong with drinking it neat with zero water, but water actually chemically changes in a good way scotch and makes it fantastic. Bourbon's in the same way. Like if you're drinking a cask strength, how does that work with ice? Ice is bad for whiskey. So cooling down whiskey is going to kill some of the flavor in it. But again, I'm not here to be a flavor cop. So if you like your whiskey with ice, then drink your whiskey with ice. I don't like my whiskey cold ever. So, but again, kind of the point of what Rookie said, everyone drink what you, and if you can't drink alcohol, then don't drink alcohol and enjoy a mocktail or a Sprite. I don't care. But I'm passionate about drinks and making things, as you'll all find out. I smoke, so I have a lower tasteability. Yeah. So, everyone's got something. Just so everyone knows, my next YouTube channel is going to be a cocktail channel. That is 100% what, one of the things around the new studio that I'm building is that my studio will have a bar directly outside of it that will have camera. Like I ran wiring and cabling to be able to, you wouldn't be able to drink half of it. And you know what? I'm going to go. I really liked, this was a community suggestion, folks, here before. I really like this. This block right here is very nice. Really small whiskey glasses are fine. Here's what I'm using right now. So this style of glass is called a Glencairn glass. And it's built to channel the, it brings the nose of the whiskey up. So that when you're drinking it, it filters it right there in your nose. So little glasses are fine. You can refill them. Nothing wrong with that. All right, so I do want to do the top of this one a little bit different. I'm not sure what, but like I said, can I hit through that? Is that, you know what? I think that doubling those might be too much. Let them get up close like that, but then we'll use, has made it through day 63. Here, I'm gonna take a look at Discord really quick, folks. I think I've got Discord shut down. Oh, I see. Yeah, you use the same stairs. Can I show this? Can I easily show this? Let me see. All right. I'll respond to you later. I don't have a good way to show my full screen so I can show everyone else. So I'm gonna carry on with the base. But no, that's awesome. It looks like you took pieces and parts and pieces. So here's what I'm thinking. I think Australia was built on gin consumption. All right, you know what? I think we can use the plate hole which is did they not this guy? I think that'll work. I think that'll still stop the Zeds. But I don't know. So it's going to be an experiment. And you know what? Experiments are fun. So I think that this, I might make this a little bit more simple here and just go with a straight ramp piece. So this is a common thing you'll see on all my bases. You have to force the zombies not to climb where they're not allowed to. So you have to do something like this. And ideally, like one level up, it typically isn't enough. 2 levels up will force them. So that is enough to stop them from stacking. You don't need to do anything in these corners. You can if you want to, but you can basically ignore the corners. They'll stack off and fall to the side. They won't be able to jump up to there. So that's a pretty straightforward fighting position right there. Now, the question is sorry, I'm just laughing at the truck keeps coming up. Trying to figure out how I want to do this section. So we could slap these in here. Since we've already used them, we can just use multiples like that. And then we just put a plate along the front, and that's your protection for those, and allows you to give access. So come same thing along this side, except for that one's got a wall to it. Oh, well, this can't have a wall to attach to. Okay. Okay. We got to do some changes here already. Some things I'm seeing. So when you're building stuff compact like this, you got to give yourself pathways. So we were talking about how do you repair. So we're working on creating that option right now. So if we do stuff like this, and then we come back along the side here. Now, if I'm in the center here, I can get to these to repair. Yeah, I'm not doing scaffold ladders. I hate them. Leo, are you talking about like in the front here? You can't melee through scaffold ladders unless you're playing with spears. They're great if you're using spears, but if you're using any other weapon, they suck. Anything that's got an overhead swing to it, you're gonna hit the ladders more than you hit anything else. For repair, I meant. Not sure I follow. What do you mean by that for repair? Now, the scaffolding block, this one I love. I love this block just because it gives really fun character. And sorry, I totally didn't mean to. I felt like I was a total dick about that one, Leo. I wasn't meaning to be that harsh. Oh, you mean on the inside? Can you reach through? I can't remember if you can. God, this is such a mess. This is going to be hard to... This is the problem. The moment you put up electric fences, you either completely protect them or you just let them die. So that's the question. Do I build the shields around the electric fences, or do I just... or do I let them persist until they die? Now, normally I would say, yes, let them just live till they die. But I'm afraid that one cop blast is going to take out the electric fence. Yeah. 300% damage. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So by the way, folks, these bases, they're not normal bases that I'm building. So if you decide to build these in your own world, cool, but understand that your needs and my needs might be different. All right, let's pull those up to here, and then here we're going to just put in solid blocks. And I don't know how I'm going to close this one off. Did the cops target panel blocks though? You know, I just don't even know what they target anymore, folks. And you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to worry about getting quite that far into the meta for the purposes of the build. Though I will say, and so everyone knows, I'm working on getting a mod created so you can replicate the Abyss experience, because I will say this has been the most fun I've had playing 7 Days to Die, because the risk is real. Like that increased block damage, it makes you scared again. Because honestly, like I can build a horde base that's impenetrable. It's not that hard. And I'm scared now. Like when Horde Night comes up, I'm like white knuckled levels of, I don't know if I'm going to make it through this one. I hope the base will hold. Like in theory, in a normal world, in a normal non 300%, it'd be fine. But 300% is just bonkers. All right, this is starting to get really messy, and I'm not liking that. And I got to figure out how to deal with this side. Yeah, Rookie, I don't know that I could. That's when I don't know that I could add to the mod. So just so everyone knows how I'm doing that, it's very tedious, but after I cross through a biome, I update the radiation map. I've got to redraw the radiation map so it doesn't allow me to go back. Yeah, exactly, Rook. You're locked into the biome that you're in. Now, I do have this idea in my head, and I don't think it's viable, but I wish I could make it viable. And that's that at the end of the Abyss series, if I could have Dr. Eko go back to the forest biome and have to fight one last horde in radiation, which I don't think is possible at the game stage that I'll be at. I don't think you could build a horde base in it. I don't think you could survive long enough. There's not enough radiation gear to minimize that, but it would be high stress insanity. In a hazmat suit, I don't know, maybe. I haven't. So Josh, here's a good question. They were supposed to a long time ago. It was supposed to be in Alpha 21. So back in Alpha 20, during the dev streams, Rick and Joel, is actually Rick more than Joel, talked about this idea. Oh, that's right. You can't get it outside of creative anymore. I forgot about that, Chessa. Well, I mean, Rookie, it works in vanilla also. But I haven't played Darkness Falls. I might jump to Darkness Falls after I complete this series, just because everyone else is doing it. I might also. I don't know. But I can't speak to Darkness Falls, so someone else here will have to comment on that one and let me know. You know what? I need to stop bouncing around sides. We need to get one side done. All right, so that's everything there. So if I grab that, I'm just going to copy that, bring it out here, paste it. We're going to double rotate it again. Copy it, delete it, rotate it back. I know, Leo. I was like, I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing, and I'm like trying to respond to everyone, and oops, that's not what we wanted to do. One back. Let's do this. Rad pills and radiation. Josh, just go use the mod launcher. It's the best way. Then you don't have to figure it out. But make sure you use the latest version of the mod launcher. Rook, if you can grab the Rook, can you grab the link to the Sphere's latest version of the mod launcher that we use for Undead Legacy and drop it in chat? Still can't find a same elevate base. All bases are the same with elevated, plat. Zombies just randomly hit. So Slash, are you saying you? Yeah, unfortunately you kind of have to do an elevated base, if I'm understanding what you're asking. I mean, the non-elevated base just is not viable. Yeah, that's the link. Thank you, Rookie. They just beat the crap out of anything else. We're gonna try adding in a ramp plate here and see what this looks like. And I'm already like, part of me, I am looking at this. I know I'm gonna have a hard time with this later. Plates, grab that. Why is that? Oh, because it's plate ramp and their search is horrible. I don't know how this looks. Does this line up? I've never tried this, so I don't know. No. Even with, okay, so the big thing that you got to think of. So zombies have two trajectories. They're going to go up. They're going to try to match your elevation first, and then they're going to try to push towards you. That's the order of operations. So up and towards you. And I can't remember what the range is, but there's a block range. It's like 13 or 14 blocks. If they can't get to you in that, they're just going to beat the shit out of stuff. So you got to look at the length of the path. Oh, DF hasn't launched on mod launcher yet. I did not know that. So otherwise it's I mean, mods are pretty straightforward. The whole pack will drop into your mod folder. Because still experimental. That makes sense. This is all too complicated. I hate. So there's two sides to this, folks. When I build bases like this, I have to be able to memorize them in my head so that I can build it live. In the bottom section, this I could build, this I could build. Yeah. It's not that bad. So if anyone does have a recommendation, I need to learn how to give passes for a second. But Rook, if you know someone who's done a good tutorial, you can post it. I gotta simplify this, folks. This is too complex. This is gonna be problematic to build. I got an idea. I got a crazy idea. Scrap all this. Scrap it all. We're doing something different, folks. I got an idea. So this, my problem with this is like, I like the look of it. It's overcomplicated, especially for new people who are trying to build a base. So this part is fine. This is all simplistic. Anyone can do this. We're going to come up with a... That was slightly arousing, actually. Oh, Kraken is good people. Hey, Chessa, can... Actually, I'll look it up. YouTube... So Kraken was also part of our crew. It Totally Not Prepared. Kraken, how to install mods, 7 Days to Die. Helps if you spell it right. Oh, there we go. He even made it for, here we go. Go check out that one. That one is specific for 7 Days to Die, and Kraken is good people, so go give them some love. All right, here we go. Oh God, there's... How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Yeah, the mod launcher one won't work. Okay, this might work though. Leo's like, I know what's going on here. Yep, we're simplifying things a little bit. I'm going to bring this into a valid world where we can test it real quick. It ain't pretty. I don't know. Just wait. It might be easier though. So once you're in the prefab editor, folks, one of the cool things you can do is you can actually come in here and do playtest. Now, before I do that, I'm going to fix this side bit because this needs to match up. So we're going to move the ground up like that, and then we're going to save it. And then we're going to play test this real quick. You know, easy is good for tutorials. Also, like when you make things overly complicated, it's fun for if you're in a build world and you're doing things over time. But for people learning to be creative and have fun with it, it's problematic. So let's give ourselves a wire tool because that's the most important thing that I want to see right now. All right. All right, so all I want to do is test this wire run. So the idea is you put it in the floor. To here. Ugh. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Okay. Hey, Ice Wolfen, it's not the 11 block range that you're thinking of, but the idea of this one is that it will never trigger rage mode because the zombies will slide down. Yes, Rookie. Rookie, I already sacrificed the grenade chute because of the slope also. Which I already considered, but here's the other thing. I could maybe, let's do this. So if I need to, Rook, I could possibly do something to the side. I don't know. We'll think about that in a second. One step at a time. But what if, because we've got that here. So let's do this. Let's grab that stack there. Yep, it is. Will this work? If this works, then we're golden. That might work. I think that's good. I think they're going to hit that. Unfortunately, there's only one way to test this. Let's get rid of that. Let's get some concrete blocks. We're going to do one quick thing here. All right, so let's fill this in. Let's go like this. And let me look at how this looks from the exterior. Is that at the same level? No, it's one above. Okay. So we can do... Oh, wait a second. Oh, wait for it, folks. Watch this. There we go. Quick stability view? Sure. It should be rock solid. I mean, obviously this is going to get dicey as we get across here. All right. So here we go. We can repair that from here. It goes right across there. So we're just tossing this out here and seeing if this is theoretically gonna work, so we're not worried about the rest of the bits. Oh my gosh, yes, Rookie. I totally agree, and I've suggested that to the Fun Pimps directly. I'm like, why can't that be a thing? It would help people be better builders and make really cool shit in your worlds. So here's the ideal way you would do it. You would have it go from here up to here. And we can protect that. We'll deal with that up there in a second. And then because these are rails, I can reach through and grab that. All right. So first off, we just got to make sure that, and you know what? We're going to go ahead and Oh, we made that. Is this manual? This is manual. Okay, cool. So when that flips up, that's active. So do I get shocked? I do. All right. So also just a quick check. We're going to grab ourselves the dev gun. We just want to see that the zombies do run into this and that they trigger that. And this might be the viable way we do this. All right, we got a bunch of feral. Come on, girl. Get on up. All right, she's pathing up like she's supposed to, like a good girl. And does she get shocked? That's all we care about. Nope. Nope, I'm over here. Come on, girl. What are you doing? Why is she drunk? Make it across the poles. Come on. What are you doing? Okay, so this path shouldn't be too long. But that does tell us, yeah, they got to really work to So they got to really work to get close enough. So she a gold digger. Can you melee? Yes, Rook, you can. It is one of my favorites, and specifically here we'll use this and just show another example. So there's 5 Arlenes. So yes, you can easily melee through here. Okay, so when they get too close, they're going to hit it. But you can't afford to have them get too close. Yeah, I'm loving it. So far, it has been one of my favorite. All right, so in order to make this really work, so LD, when you did it, so I've got mine doubled up. So I've got a quarter, or I've got a half circle, and then I've got a plate on the outside. So you need a second block on the outside. They will occasionally crawl through. It's not foolproof. All right, let's pull this down. I want to try one last thing here. And that's that if we take this out one more. Let's do wedge 60s. Must be the anti-shot. All right, and do we have a dev gun? We do. Let's grab that, and let's modify this real quick. Let's do this right here. Advanced rotation helps, folks. Big Mama does like flashing. Big Mama likes to get a little freaky, you know? Don't deny her that. Don't need a kink shame, Big Mama. All right, if we come at it from this angle, let's see if we've gotten it enough. I think that's enough to get us there. Hey, Rob, what's going on, buddy? All right, let's bring this back down. And I think this will get us there. Oh, yes, that is the money right there. Okay. I think that's the answer. And I might not even protect it up at that height. I might just say, let's hope it survives. Because otherwise, what are we gonna do? We could come at the end and we could do this, the wedge tip 60 half. Like that, and then cover it back up. Could do a yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking. You could do at least. He's not drunk enough. Could do something small here, like that's a half block. And then rather than pull out something from here, could do something from the sides. Okay. That's way more simplistic than having to build the pods out to the side, which I like a lot. And it's gonna look fucking cool once we do all 3 rings. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to the plate. Back to the editor. I see this. That's your gloomy Batman post section. This is one of my frustrating things. I hate that in the prefab editor you can't connect cables because you can't even tell if a thing's gonna work. Until you take it into, you know, the play test and screw around with it. So we need those wedge 60s again. So we're going to grab this and this. I'm going to take this right here and we'll do one side because this is a replicatable thing, partially, kind of, sort of. We'll see. All right, 1, 2, ignore that one, kill that one right there. We got to pull this one out one more like that. And it's the same. There we go. And that one's going to go there. And I think that's right. And then on the end here, we just used. Yeah, this one should be pretty straightforward on the wiring. Oh, we could use that too, but I prefer to use this. Okay, so that's going to go there. All right, let's get rid of this. And here's what I'm thinking. This can be a half or a quarter. I mean, yeah, you could actually put a 0.25. You could do this and it's going to give, or you could put these. Hell, give it some character. Raining all day. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm definitely heavily melee. Ah, shit. We just separated that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and narrow. Bear with me as I rebuild these. You're gonna want to put a spot. I don't know where we're gonna put lights. It's a good question. It's a great question. So again, copy, move over. Oh, actually, this might be a mess. We'll see. Can I shift X? Nope. Never mind. That's a horrible idea. There should be a way to rotate on that axis, and there's not. Maybe one more block security grates. Chessa, no, and I wish there was. It is one of the things that I do painstakingly when I do the tutorials. I have to count out every block. All right, so that's interesting enough. And so hopefully we only have to wire this up once. Let's copy that, just a basic block. So that goes there. You know, honestly, I promise all of you, if you just get in and play with it, you'll get better with it. Like, so here's all the commands. I will teach you all the commands in 2 seconds. Okay, more than 2 seconds. I'm a liar. But essentially, you know, your block choice is the same as always. All right. If I press Z, it's going to highlight one block. And if I press Z somewhere else, it's going to create what I call a bounding box. Now, once you have a bounding box, whichever block I have highlighted, like if I have this triple block in whichever orientation it's currently on, if I press L right now, the letter L, it's going to fill that whole area with the block that I have selected in the orientation that I have selected. So I press L and it highlights all that. Now I say, well, that's dumb. I'd rather have it be this block. I switch to this block. I press L again. All right. Now we get into some basic, you know, Word, like Microsoft Word, copy paste. So, you know what? I don't want this here. I'm going to hit Control C for copy. Now I want to delete that whole area. So I'm going to press J because God knows what the fun pimps were thinking, but J is the delete button. Now I still have that bounding box, so I can move that bounding box wherever I want. If I press down G, it's going to give me these 3 arrows. Okay. So I slide it over here. And I can just hit Control V and boom, that same thing that I just created is there. Now, as long as I have something in a bounding box, if I want to rotate it, I press X and I can continuously rotate it. And if I rotate it to a different direction, I can recopy it. So Control C and I can delete it and I can press G and move this back over and repaste the rotated version that I made. And that's most of what I'm doing here. That is the majority of it. All right, I think this configuration is really good here. You know what? The one thing that I will say, hey man, I don't know why you thought this was PG, Leo, but I didn't sign up for that shit. I still like this configuration here on the sides though. I might do that and leave this one here. Oh, I kind of like that. I kind of like that. Oh, this might look really good. So we do this and then we can I can't bring it up elegantly into there because this is the piece that I had used before. But that's going to look really horrible. How is it going to look if I do that? Also looks kind of garbagey. From the angle, from the side angle, it's just not good. It might be an issue of going back to this guy. That might be the most elegant solution there. Yeah. Now just figuring out this top section here is the last bits. I'm still not convinced on that triple pole. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, does that look silly? It might look silly, but it does mirror what we've got going on down there. Yeah, lighting's going to be a problem for this. Lighting is going to be a problem. Lighting is a problem in general in this because I can't just throw lights out there and hope that they survive because cop spit is just going to fucking wreck everything. Yeah, actually, you know what? Y'all just gave me an idea. I'm so used to putting the lights up top here, but now we don't have to hide cables. There's so many better ways we can do things. So what if on this back plate, what if I do this? God, this is great. Yeah, it's so freaking good. Oh man, this'll, for Horde night and recording purposes, this'll look really good too. Oh, that'll be so good. Light, yeah, LD. The point there, it's not that bad, but it's gonna silhouette the zombies. I mean, I could make it higher, so it's not right in my face. I could bring it up one more if I want to. So I could do this and then have it come back down. But I kind of really like that. Because I can probably make it the 14 blocks from here to there. Easy. So what is that? 1, 2. Rook, if they would let you. you can. I mean, it's so here's one of the most amazing things, folks, in the prefab editor. And there's mods that kind of allow you to do this. It's getting dirty now. Why is it not letting me pull up? There we go. So I don't know if it'll let me. Oh, it's got a POI flavored one. Hold on. Stop. So in the prefab editor, if you have a POI based light, doesn't matter which one, pick any of them. We'll pick industrial light, POI. So in the POI editor, well, none of these matter. So switch on, but here's the thing. This is what I wish we had access to. So see, you can change the color. So if I want this to be a blue light, this is going to be a blue light. It's going to have a crazy range. It's going to be intense. It can have no shadows. It can have hard shadows. You can actually have it fluctuating. I forgot to save it. Okay, so let's do this. So fluctuating blue light. Range is big. Intensity is super intense. You can change the delay on the fluctuation to make it more intermittent. And then you can hit OK. So now if I do set time night, you can have these really fucking cool looking lights. And I don't know why they don't just give us access to do this in game. It would make some of the most powerful Horde bases. And it's really nice because you can use stuff like this to trigger warning lights to say, hey, this lane is active, and have that be a red light. So I don't understand why we don't have that. Yeah, I assume there's a reason, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. So, all right. Well, folks, I'm going to get a little bit of rest tonight. Let's pull us in close. I'm making good progress on this, though. I'm happy with the direction it's going. I do think that this is going to be the base for the wasteland. That's my hunch. I think this is too big to try to do for the for the snow biome, so I've got to come up with something more streamlined. If I had that top section, I would perch up there all the time. I am thinking that for the snow biome, I'm going to try to make the yeet base. I think that that's the smart one. The one where they launch themselves off the side. Remember to save my work. I just did, Wacko. I literally just hit the save. So, but yes, thank you. So I appreciate everyone hanging out tonight, and I appreciate all the feedback. And yeah, these are just fun for me. These are really fun. I've really been enjoying these. It's a valuable use of my time where I get to both hang out with all of you all and get to build, which I would have to do. So that was emotional. I don't know if it's emotional. I'm just saying thank you. Just being appreciative. That's okay. Everyone have a good night. Have a great week where you're halfway through. And as always, folks, come hang out on Friday. If you have the chance on Friday, I'm going to be over doing Twitch integration stream, testing out some new stuff. So if you want to come murder me just for shits and giggles, Friday's the time to do it. I'll be on at the same time around 8 o'clock Central. And if you show up early on Friday for that, you get free points. So there's that going for you. So otherwise, folks, take care. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all hanging out, and I will see you on the next stream, hopefully on Friday. Be good all.